So I've got a little secret to tell you. Overactive bladder is typically a misdiagnosis. What? So in this video, I want to explain to you what the most direct diagnosis would be, what's really going on, and how you can let go of the constant peeing. I'm Michael HODGE. I created Overcome Pelvic and Urinary Issues. I've worked with over 1,000 men to let go of these problems. Just real quick, actually Ethan from our program shared there was zero pain. I was able to urinate with no medication and minimal hesitation or difficulty. So thank you, Ethan, for sharing that with everyone. So in this video, though, I want to talk to you about that misdiagnosis. Some sources state that OAB affects somewhere from 11 to 16% of all adults, which is extremely high. Now, what I want to talk about here is typically there's a diagnosis of exclusion that does lead to getting overactive bladder syndrome kind of labeled upon you. So most of the time you've probably already visited your doctor, maybe you were sent to a urologist and you've had other tests done and everything else, but you're looking to exclude something like a urinary tract infection, polyps or tumors in the bladder, other structural abnormalities. So it could have been cystoscopy, urodynamics, ultrasound. There are different diagnostics, and by all means always go and visit your physician, get an assessment, and get checked out. So what happens when your physician, your specialist can't find anything? They settle upon overactive bladder. They're like, I mean, structurally there's nothing wrong with you. You have overactive bladder syndrome because you have to pee all the time. So this isn't the best thing to be hearing, but what happens is that you're really just going to be helped with managing it in most cases. You can manage it, there are certain medications, there are exercises you can do, there are stretches, but it becomes overly focused on the bladder and the pelvic floor, the genitals, like this part of your body. It's like this is the part of your body in which you're experiencing the urge to pee all the time and where the urination actually takes place. So I must need to do something down there. This will lead you to becoming overly focused on how much you're drinking, cutting down liquids dramatically, what foods you're eating. Like, are there certain foods that are making me have to pee more often, not pee? There are a lot of people that eat all those foods that don't have to pee very often. So there are a lot of things here that probably haven't been working for you, which is why I want to talk to you about something that will work for you. So again, as long as you've gotten checked out and you went through that process of exclusion, we can now rule in mind-body syndrome, also known as TMS. You might have other symptoms that you experience, such as headaches sometimes, pelvic floor pain, back pain. Maybe your symptoms change, and sometimes you have more urinary frequency. Maybe you're on vacation and you're like, wow, I didn't have to pee as much, or I was super relaxed and chilled out this weekend and I didn't have to as often, or wow, when I get really stressed out or I have to have this conversation with my partner or something about work, I notice that I have more frequency. So you're finding that connection, right, to stress, anxiety, but also maybe personality tendencies and traits and emotional repression. So your brain is actually creating genitourinary dysfunction from danger signals that it's receiving, from the stressors, from anxiety, from thoughts, from potentially emotions that you're not fully feeling and passing through you. So whenever you know that this is the cause, and you're like, wow, this is mind-body syndrome. My bladder's fine, my pelvic floor is fine, my penis is fine. Like there's nothing wrong anatomically or structurally. And I don't have to just keep changing diets and changing liquid amounts and doing a certain stretch every day just to make this go away. That's too much focus on mechanical and chemical. We need to go directly, neurologically, and address the brain. So you retrain the brain with messages of safety, and you begin to relax the nervous system and also actually notice your emotions and feel them and accept them and pass them through. Because all pain or physical body dysfunction like this has a couple of things going on. For one, it's a messenger. So there's something that you need to look beneath the surface because your body's trying to tell you something. Something needs to change. Something needs to change. Maybe the way that you are in a relationship. Maybe you hold it in and you're afraid to speak the truth. Or maybe you put way too much pressure on yourself, or you're too worried, or you're very anxious. And there are things that need to change. And then also, these symptoms can protect you from having to fully feel difficult emotions that you stuffed down that you've repressed from the past. It could be from a long time ago or even recent past. And this protection gives you a diversion, diverts your attention away from something that's harder to deal with than just, oh, this is a physical body issue. Let me fix that somehow. So some people might say, this is all in your head. It's not all in your head. It's very real. It's happening. The autonomic nervous system is governing this. It's taking place in the subconscious mind. It's actually all in your brain. So we want to address it at the brain. We want to create messages of safety. We want to notice what the root cause is. And that's why I created the Discover Your Root Cause tool. This is an incredible free tool. It has a masterclass. There's going to be this discovery questionnaire and a relaxing breathwork. So definitely do that Discover Your Root Cause tool so that you can figure out what's going on beneath having to go all the time, so that you can let go of the constant peeing and the challenges.